There we go. Hey everybody, hope you guys are all doing all right. I'm just making sure everything on my end is all set up and I think we are good to go. There we go. Okay. Go. Not a bad Thursday, guys. I mean, maybe as far as the market was concerned, it was a little bit bad, but overall, guys, I think we had a pretty decent day, I guess I would say. Bitcoin still managing to hold. Ethereum got smashed below that support level we talked about yesterday. So we're going to be going over all of that. No train strike, that has been averted. That is some big news coming out there right now. There's still some sticky issues, and we'll talk about those, but it shouldn't take too long to talk about those ones right now. But I think the big thing we got to understand right now is there's going to be no strike at least for like another 30 to 60 days. And so it's the can is getting kicked down the road, basically, which means we don't have to worry about it as much, for now. Keep it in the back of your minds, but I won't be kind of ranting about it just as much because we have to see if it's going to be ratified, and we'll talk about that a little bit more here. And hey, Carlos, happy to see you, and hey, Luis, happy to see you guys again. Ready for another marathon stream? No, today's stream is going to be a nice and short one, probably for an hour and a half. I got to do a lot of work here tonight. I'm actually, after the stream is over, I'm making 3 videos for you guys, all based around FinViz and using those specific scanner settings to make some good profits there. And then afterwards, I'm going to be planning out some videos I'm going to be making over the next few days. What my goal here for the channel for the next few, I want to say a month and a half, is to pump out as many tutorials as I can for you guys. So I can make tutorials about FinViz, TradingView, all that type of stuff a lot. What I'm trying to do, and I'm trying to find a good way to do it that works better for me, is I'm trying to find a way to teach you guys how to trade every single pattern and every single candlestick pattern. And the only way I've been able to really figure out how to do this so far has been to take this camera, point it straight down, use a whiteboard, and draw on the whiteboard. So what I might invest in here over the next week or so, I'm probably going to try to do something online first. But what I'm going to try to do here is get some type of whiteboard I can have on the wall, like a larger one, and draw on that and show you guys all these specific patterns and how to trade them accurately. I've tried to do them here. I'll pull up the charts right now. Hey, Little Cola, happy to see you back, my man. And hey, Ed's, sorry, here, Ed Edwards. I tried to combine them for some reason. One of the things when I try to teach you guys patterns and whatnot, let me just go to this one. This is for the NAS. So this is probably the NASDAQ. Oh, this is Bitcoin chart on the NASDAQ section. So I need to get rid of this one in a second anyway. But what I try to do is I try to have, let me take the magnet off. I try to have a trend line here and maybe a trend line here, and I try to show you guys, mimic what could be happening, right? And then you buy right here and stuff like that. But I never like the way it comes across when I try to draw the lines because they're not actually touching there. The circle isn't the right spot exactly. I can't zoom in on a line I'm creating, and it's very hard to find each pattern. It's time consuming to find a pattern like this every single time. So I might actually just look for the patterns and do it that way, even though it'll take a minute. But or get a whiteboard. What I was hoping to do was actually just buy one of those cheaper computers that might cost me like 500, 600 bucks, but it's like touchscreen, so I could be drawing with my fingers or a stylus. And what that would allow me to do is just be very accurate about what I'm trying to show you guys in the chart. Because all I ever try to show you guys is those 20 basic patterns, because those are the patterns that we use quite a bit, and a lot of you guys have learned those patterns pretty well so far. And then once I teach you guys those patterns, then I can start going over to how much money to invest, what type of options to buy, what type of leverage to go after. But I want to have those basic tutorials down first before we start going more in depth about how to actually do a trade from beginning to end. Because once I teach you guys that, it'll be like a tutorial type thing, not tutorial, but like a playlist of 20 different pattern trades. And after the 20 different pattern trades, now that you've learned 20 different patterns, let's actually go through a trade from beginning to end, and we'll just pull up some random stock and we'll see, hey, how is this doing? We have a breakdown occurring. What should we be aiming for here? What are the support levels? What tools are we using? I have the Ganfan strategy tutorial, the Fibonacci retracement tutorial, the Fibonacci extension tutorial. I have all those tutorials, but if you don't know how to, watch for breakdowns and patterns, they become pretty useless at that point, right? And hey, Ken, happy to see you back as well. Saw the news today about FTX is in the lead to perhaps buy Voyager. I hope they are. FTX is going to be a good buying partner for Voyager. I saw that the bidding is still going on at this point, but yeah, it looks like they're in the lead right now. So everybody, let's see. 2 things here. I reset the Dogecoin stream. What happened was, as you guys know from the marathon stream last night, I changed the music from the lo-fi beats to more EDM, more pump it up music to kind of shift things back up a little bit again. What ended up happening is when I actually opened up that website, there's a tab you have to push that says YouTube safe. I thought I pushed it, but I guess it didn't go through. So what ended up, I pushed it, but I guess it didn't refresh after you push it, if that makes sense. So what ended up happening is it played a copyright song, which meant that YouTube just stopped the stream. And so that's why you guys clicked on it. It just said stream not available. So that's good to go. It's back up and running for all of you guys. And then I did change up the other stream for the 24-hour Bitcoin signal stream. It's no longer Bitcoin Ethereum signals. It's just Bitcoin stream. And then what I did is actually put on a 4-hour chart with all the technical analysis that I have. That way you guys can see the major resistance levels, support levels on top of the signals that the algorithms are going to be giving to you guys. So you guys can use that. And it's, I mean, you guys can stay on that one as long as you want to, but basically, since it's a 4-hour chart, you're not going to be looking at like fast moving charts or anything like that. It's going to be a very, very simple thing. However, you know, it will be useful. Let me see if I can find it for you guys very fast. Usually pretty easy for me to find my streams. There we go. Here we go. So you can see it looks something like this. The downtrend over here, if you trade it off of the downtrend plus my just general video saying, hey, watch out, you know, came back down. We're holding the Fibonacci circle of all things right now, guys. I made the lines a little bit thicker, and we're watching this pretty closely as far as the 4-hour chart's concerned. And then I also have some liquidation data on the left-hand side, plus you know, the price action stuff on the bottom here. So you guys can look at that every now and again. You're basically just going to be looking for an uptrend alert or a downtrend alert, usually pretty accurate here, but you guys can like test it out over time, of course. Okie dokie, let's get on over here very fast. Going over to this chart, this is the chart that most of you guys have been looking at on the Dogecoin Bitcoin stream here. We're trying to hold this Gann fan right now, as well as that Fibonacci circle that we talked about a little bit more. We also have the support level right here from a while ago of 19,527. I would say that's the support we're really looking for at this moment in time. If you're looking for any longer term Bitcoin support levels here, it's going to be kind of hard to find them. Probably best just to go to this naked chart right here and drop the lines. Right? We're still pretty far away from that. That's around 18,656. So we're currently at 19,791. So a little bit over $1,000 drop is what we would have to go meet or go to have a nice level of support here. I'm not too inclined to be buying up so much right now. Maybe over the next few days I might feel more inclined, but I'm just I'm still dollar cost averaging, but I'm being very, very careful because, you know, a lot of times we see this, and you guys will remember this as well. Ethereum may break down a day or two before Bitcoin, leading Bitcoin to have a larger crash the next day. And so I'm watching this closely. The 4-hour chart looks okay at this point in time. We're still gradually going back down. Maybe in the next 10 hours, we might have a little bit more of a pump if we are going to have a reversal to happen probably sometime tonight going into the morning. That'd be our opportunity. But tomorrow's Friday. Tomorrow's the end of the week. Let's see how the market finishes off. Now I can actually go to the NASDAQ and some of the other major indexes here. Actually, let's just go one by one here. As far as the NASDAQ is concerned, it's still dropping, and it did break down below that support level we had here, okay? So we were trying to see if we're going to stop here for a second, form some type of double bottom. We did break down below that. You know, since the NASDAQ is actually made up of a whole bunch of different stocks, if for some reason we get a big boost coming out of tomorrow, some good news, something like to that effect, right? Because we were hoping that the railroad strike news might actually give us some good news. Market did not even care about it one bit. All right. And plus we just had a death cross here. That's not good either on the daily chart. There's still an opportunity if we have a good day tomorrow going into Monday. There's an opportunity that we could have some type of double bottom here, where we have a bottom. Let me draw this in here. Bottom, neckline, and then we're trying to shoot back up there and trying to have a nice reversal. That would be very, very nice to see. And then we could actually start trying to plan out some Fibonacci extension levels if it does happen here, where, you know, yeah, there we go. We're hoping that we might be able to get back up here towards 13,194. Not as likely, of course, because of this bad news coming out day after day after day. But there is a possibility that we get back up here, or at least come back up here for maybe another double top without the actual reversal of the double top appearing. So we might consolidate here, be a little bit more choppy. And of course, you guys know that I'd rather us be choppy than going down, because we're still getting too close for comfort to that 200 weekly moving average here. As far as some of the other indexes today, like the NASDAQ dropped 1.71%, SPY dropped down about 1.4%, or excuse me, 1.1% today. Still falling down here, guys. Probably best to go to daily chart. Right, so we're not looking too good here. We did also break down a few days ago. I didn't put too much stock into it, but because we already broke down here once. It's kind of an icky breakdown here, but there's still another opportunity for some of these other indexes, just like what we saw with the NASDAQ, to have this double bottom. And that's what I really want you guys to pay attention to right now. As far as the Dow Jones is concerned, I don't really pay attention to this too much today, honestly. This one doesn't look as likely to have a double bottom. Actually, it looks like we're actually going to be coming down here a little bit more. But also, guys, we did have that breakdown a while ago, just a weird false breakdown, and then we popped up back above it. Another death cross though, so we are going to be watching for some resistance as this 20-day moving average comes across over the next, let's say up until like Thursday of next week, I would say. All right, and then we don't need to worry about too much stuff on the other side. Let's go over here, probably put this in the 15-minute chart. And if you guys have any questions, let me know. The one thing we're just going to talk about here very fast is just the railroad union stuff. So they were able to make a deal. Now, we're not entirely sure. From what I've talked to, and I talked to people for like a good hour today on Reddit, just kind of getting an idea of what's been going on. I don't know if there's been anybody else on there. Let me see. This is just me looking up other Finviz screeners so I can give you guys. Here, hold on a second. There you go. I basically just asked for an explanation on Reddit because I am not too, like, you know, I know more than maybe the average person, but I don't know as much as the average railroad or union guy, you know. So basically I just asked what's going on because all this information is kind of overwhelming me this morning because like CNN was saying something and saying something different than Fox Business, which was saying something different than CNN, which was saying something different than MSNBC. So basically I was just asking a bunch of questions here. I know you guys might not be able to read this because it's not really zoomed in here, but so basically this is what the first person told me and it got the most votes. So I just want to read this one first. Again, I basically asked what happened because I'm kind of confused because I'm hearing so many different things from so many different news organizations. And the first guy, Bogus, I don't know how to pronounce his name. He says they slightly changed the agreement so they can stall the strike basically. All right. So we'll keep on talking about, and then another guy says, to add to this, it also seems like it will be a good tool to paint the rail labor as greedy to the media. And I asked, so it's more like kicking the can down the road, because that's what I got from it, right? And then Penguin Professor says, yes, and Congress and the public now consider the matter closed, so rejecting the contract and trying for more feeds into the greedy union narrative. I doubt Congress will stick their necks out for us again. Let's see. People say the best chance to get a vote was yesterday. They're not sure if they're going to get another one. Solidarity is what people are saying. And here's a longer one right here. I'm not going to talk about that one. That one's like a little bit more detailed, but that's more of like that'll take me like 5-10 minutes to read all that. So right now people don't know if there's still going to be a strike. They feel like they're going to vote this. They're going to vote this down. And if they vote it down, that's where things might get a little bit more crazy. It looks like this guy just gave me a Vice article. So maybe we look at that very fast. 28 rail workers tell us what they want you to know about their lives, and basically, geez, they keep on trying to sell me the rings I already have. But yeah, so it looks like they're just talking about the bad quality of life there. So what I think you might see here, guys, over the next few weeks is, let's see at this point, because I'm not entirely sure what the vote's going to be. I'd probably say it's probably going to get voted down between 50 to 60% or 50 to 70%. I'll give it a wide range here. I think whatever deal they came up with, it looks like the average Union Joe does not like it, so they're going to vote it down. Okay, I think that's going to happen. However, after they vote it down, there's another cool-off period that has to happen. So they're going to try to really postpone this indefinitely, at least until the midterms are over. And then after the politics is out of the way, maybe they're allowed to go on full strike and things can get worse in the economy, and people aren't going to be like, oh, my job as a political official is going to be harmed during this. So that's kind of the sense I got from these conversations here. You guys can read what I was asking on our railroads if you guys really want to go in there. The title of the post is just called Explanation. So at this point, strike averted, rail workers are absolutely pissed. It seems like they're probably not going to vote for it, but when we get to that point in time, we'll talk about it more. At this point, it looks like we have no immediate strike happening. So, unless they decide to walk out some more against their union bosses or do anything crazy like that, or just unexpected, let's not say crazy, but unexpected, we should be okay from an economic standpoint and from a chart perspective, right? If the strike would have gone through tonight, you would have seen the market tank tomorrow, okay? So it doesn't look like we're having that, but let's see what happens tomorrow as far as like, is everybody coming to work? Are there any, just train slowdowns? What's going on there, okay? Now, One last thing I wanted to talk to you guys about here is, I can go to some of this Reddit stuff here. There you go. We are close as far as Bitcoin. It's that major level of support. But the other thing we were talking about yesterday here was actually going about Ethereum. Let's just open up this chart right here. Is this the one we were talking about? Yeah, there we go. Okay. So let's actually bring this up piece by piece as well. Okay. So the breakdown we were talking about yesterday, if there was going to be a breakdown, was this one right here. And you guys could have shorted it if you guys wanted to. I told you guys if you wanted to buy, you would have like a 3% stop loss to really minimize any losses that you might have taken. If you guys took that, you might have lost 3%. If you guys shorted, you guys probably made way more than 3% here, especially as the breakdown occurred. If you guys look at the 15-minute chart, you'll see we got close, and then we just started chugging back down, and it hit us pretty hard using that 20 moving average, that level of resistance. Now we're actually heading for that next big level of resistance, where I think we might have a stronger opportunity to actually bounce at this point in time. And that opportunity, if you go over here to the daily chart for the Ethereum, after this big merge that we saw yesterday, it's going to be that support level for today is going to be around, actually, let's just go to the 4-hour chart so I can really pinpoint it down for you guys. It's going to be somewhere around 1,420 to 1,430. That's going to be that big support level that you guys really want to watch out for Ethereum. If Ethereum closes down below this on the daily chart, I would assume that's going to be a really bad move for Bitcoin as well. You can already see Bitcoin at this point in time, you know, it's a little bit further from its ultimate level of support because it did crash down a little harder over the past few days. Well, let's go right here very fast. There you go. The last breakdown attempt we had was way over here, and we already broke down below that. So we're already, you know, we've been breaking down for a while now, while Ethereum just broke down yesterday. So keep an eye on all this. We'll see how bad everything gets. But to go over to one of the other charts that we've been talking about for a while, I don't know exactly which one it is here. Coinbase, Bitcoin 2. There we go. Okay. Wait a second. This should be it. Obstacle 7. Yeah. Okay. We're on 7. Okay. As I zoom out here a little bit, we're holding on to a Ganfan line, a Fibonacci level of support, a Fibonacci circle support level, and we're also holding on to a support level from a few days ago, or I think a week ago as well, from over here. That's basically what we're holding on to. So right over here, I don't know if you guys saw the mouse click. So that's what we're trying to hold on to right now. Basically what happens here is, I think we're okay if we close down below this on the daily chart. But we really don't want to happen like you see over on the weekly chart. We don't want to close down below this on the weekly chart here. That'd be a very, very bad sign. And if that were to happen, we would most likely to at least test out this 2-to-1 Ganfan level. When we break down, well, whenever we break down below it, or if we do break down below this Ganfan level, guys, that's where we start retesting the lows from June. That's where things get really, really dicey, because if we start breaking down below those lows, we start making some larger moves down to $15,000, which, you know, from where Bitcoin is at least right now, if we drop down to $15,000, that's another 25% drop for Bitcoin. That would be a very bad move, not only for Bitcoin, for all the altcoins that we all own, which is why I'm still a proponent to dollar cost averaging instead of buying in bulk at this point in time, okay? So just keep that in mind, everybody. If you guys have any coins you guys want me to check out, or any stocks, please let me know. This is going to be a shorter stream. I'll probably be streaming just until about 7 o'clock tonight, because I got a lot of work to be doing here today. And I spent the whole day hanging out with Loki and getting eaten alive by mosquitoes. I don't think you guys can see Loki, but he's like, I don't know. Let me see if I can find it. I'll try to tilt this down a little bit if it works. Oh, this is, you can see him sleeping on the floor, just like there, chilling out. I would move the camera, but this is also like a $2,000 camera, and I'm terrified of breaking it because I hate breaking nice stuff, because I've done it a lot of times before. Okay, there we go. So, hope you guys are all doing well. Hey, Haram, happy to see you back. Hey, Monica. Hey, H-Rod. Let's see. And hey, Knucklebuster, far from broke. Aaron, haven't seen you for a minute, my man. Hope you're doing well. And hey, Chriso, Ethereum Classic, and XRP. What's right here? Okay. In other words, yeah, it is very good news. I really want to see what happens with all this news coming out this week. It's going to be really, really, a lot of just crazy stuff going on. Let me do one thing right here. Did I turn this off? I did turn this off. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Maybe I did on this one, not on the other stream. Okay. Well, there we go. Okay, so probably what I'll do instead is just go over here and use this Bitcoin chart so I don't mess anything up on my end. 1 second chart. There we go. Okay. And Voyager victim here. Hey, Knucklebuster. There's a lot of Voyager victims around. It really hit everybody hard. I was lucky enough only to lose like 500 bucks in it because I frankly just pulled off the majority of my money right before it happened, just because I was a little bit concerned about what was going on. And what did I tell you guys? I'm just better safe than sorry. But I hope you're able to get as much of it back as you can. And good evening, Far From Broke. What's right here? Let me make sure the members aren't saying anything else. And I hear yo, Mike, the SPY futures were dumping in the after hours. Are they? Oh, sorry guys, I'm getting blinded by lights. I can't even see my own tabs here. The light is like right. I'm standing up today, if you guys didn't know. I'm buying this ring here pretty soon, so I'm pretty excited. But CNBC, there you go. Okay. Oh yeah, we are going down a little bit. Let's see if it actually picks up tomorrow morning. But Dow's going down a little bit, S&P's going down a little bit, and NASDAQ. Yeah, and I think right here, this little live button right here, we can talk about this. So stock futures fall flat as Wall Street. I don't care. As Wall Street heads for losing week, that's not the important thing. Weighs on FedEx warning. FedEx was down a lot today because they're saying that they're seeing slowing down of actually deliveries. And if slowing down of deliveries is happening, guess what? There's less things being bought, economy slowing down a little bit, and you don't want to see that, especially since a lot of companies already bought up a lot of their stuff for the year. If nobody's going to buy all that stuff because they're afraid of supply chain issues, that means all these companies are just going to have massive backstocks of goods that nobody wants to buy. We're hoping that the economy doesn't slow down to that point, though, until 2023. I kind of thought Q3 would be the worst quarter as far as like economic, like when we started like tilting over, basically. How do I say this? You guys know Q3 for me, like what I started talking about, September, August, was not going to be the best times here. The people on CNBC, Fox Business, they say more. It's going to, like, this bad recession stuff's going to happen in 2023. I'm starting to agree with them a little bit more, but I am seeing some more big warning signs coming out during Q3, and maybe Q4 will be a little bit worse than people are expecting. Hopefully we can have a bounce out of this, hopefully. But we're going to have to see how earnings are over the next next quarter. That's going to be really important here, or next month, quarter, yeah. But here, let me just show you what's going on. So shares of FedEx plunged 15% in extended trading hours after the shipments company withdrew its full year guidance and said it will implement cost-cutting initiatives to contend with soft global shipment volumes as macroeconomic trends significantly worsened. So FedEx delivers stuff. They know if deliveries are picking up, slowing down. They have all that metrics, so they know how much money they're going to be making, obviously. Now, we could all take that information and say, whoa, deliveries are slowing down. That means less stuff is being bought. That's a pretty easy inference to be making from something like this. And that's why everybody is kind of freaking out about this right now. I think they might have expected to have this happen later on, and again, in 2023, when all the experts are saying it's going to happen. Now, you can even see right here, FedEx CEO says he expects a worldwide recession. This guy has a lot of data. We'll see how bad everything gets. But I mean, FedEx is a pretty big company, and for it to lose like 20% of its value after hours, that's a lot. Here, if I go over here very fast and I go to is that FedEx? Oh geez, what is FDX maybe? FedEx, yeah, there we go. So it says it lost 0.7%, 0.07% today. It's a $52 billion market cap company. 20%, like 18% of that just went away. What's 18%? 52 billion? Hey Siri. Hey Siri. What's 18% of 52 billion? 18%. So like $9 billion of market cap was just wiped off in a matter of minutes. That's basically what just happened here. All right, so just be watching out for it. And something else that happened today was Adobe was buying out another company. That caused their stock to crash pretty hard as well. But that didn't have to do as much about the economy, more about Adobe buying a major competitor out of the business, frankly. Okay, but yeah, so that's some other news you guys might want to be paying attention to here pretty soon. Let's see. And hey, AZTV, happy to see you back, man. Robbie and my whole coiner status, Scamsky. Yeah, we got to be more careful about the exchanges we talk about here. It's gonna be interesting. And I want you guys to understand this as well before I start going over some of your coins and whatnot. Right now, we've had 2 exchanges go bust, as far as I know. I think Celsius and Voyager are the only 2. There might be more. I know we had the UST disaster as well here. Do Kwon's probably going to jail. But, oh, sorry, guys. I couldn't even, were you guys looking at me the whole time? Shit, yeah, you guys were. Sorry, guys. Hold on a second here. I wanted to show you guys this very fast as far as FedEx. So the market cap as FedEx was 52 billion. Basically, what that means here is the 9 billion off of that was just wiped off of the market cap. That's all I really wanted to show you guys there. And as far as some of the stuff, as far as the slowing down of the economy, that's not too crazy there. But yeah, so we're keeping a close eye on as far as everything is concerned, but it's just not looking too good right now. Same thing we talked about earlier. But exchanges are going to face more pressure as the price of crypto keeps on going down, because they're going to have most likely less trading volume as people really start to freak out. And if we do hit this really bad recession, let's say more of a moderate recession over the next year or so, exchanges are going to have to start making some interesting decisions as far as, maybe they have to raise their fees. Maybe, they're going to have to do some stuff here in order to stay competitive, yet also stay alive if there's not as many people trading, because some of these companies have been growing very, very rapidly, as you guys have known, like a Coinbase, like BitGet, KuCoin, FedEx, whatever it is. They have all been growing very, very rapidly over the last couple of years. One thing that's escaping my mind, and I'll remember it here pretty soon. That should be it for now. I'll think about it when it comes up here pretty soon. I'm gonna sit down. I wanted to stand up for the stream, but I always forget those lights are like pointing like this. They're never pointing down at me when I'm actually streaming. They're always pointed up because they're so bright. And the fact that they're like pointing at my eyes is like giving me a small migraine. So hold on a second here, guys. You guys can watch me all get down together. There we go. Okay, there we go. Takes a second, guys. You'll see my head kind of popping up in a second. There we go. All right. Still the best desk I've ever bought, and I love this desk always. All right. And now am I too low? Yeah, probably too low. There we go. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. I want to be comfortable while I talk with you guys. So yeah, that's kind of all the big news updates for the day. If you guys have anything you want me to talk about, please let me know. Most of these coins are going to be pretty similar technical analysis. The only ones that may be a little bit different here are as far as Lunacy and Luna. Those ones are still doing their own thing and kind of getting very, very volatile here. But those are what you might want to just do more day trading on and stuff like that. And what's right here? And a far from broke. Tom, what is Tom? Is Tom a stock or a crypto? Let me know and look at it here. Quad witching day 2. Oh yeah, that'd be good. And who Johnson, Fed surprise rate hike 100 points. I mean, I would love if they did that, but I don't know if Jerome Powell has the guts to do something like that bold. Jerome Powell isn't a bold guy. He should have already been doing 100 basis point rate hikes since, I mean, let's be nice and say probably started them in June, July, 100 point rate hikes, but he was slow. Remember, guys, they just started doing quantitative tightening, which means like selling off the trillions and trillions of dollars they have on their balance sheet. They just started doing that in March. And I know March seems so long ago. What do we have? August, July, June, April, May, March. Oh, fuck, I don't know how to do this. I can't do months backwards. But, it was only a few months ago. And it's not like they've been like unloading a ton of money. I mean, it might seem like a ton of money to us, but not that much money according to their balance sheets, if that makes sense. See, will Bitcoin get back to around 30 this year? I bought around 30. If there's some good economic data that comes out sometime in Q4 that really gets the economy in high gear, it might. I'd probably say be careful. I'm not entirely sure how long it'll take to get back up there. At this point, Bitcoin's in a pretty solid downtrend though. One of the signs that you may look for to see, hey, Bitcoin may have an opportunity to be breaking back out sometime soon and like doing some really good stuff, is what I'd be hoping for here is maybe Bitcoin's able to break out above this trend line right here over the next few quarters. So maybe if we break out above it sometime in November or so, maybe that could be a big pump up to 30,000 where we start stagnating and going sideways again, probably going off of a very large Fibonacci extension tool that looks something like Fibonacci extension range, to look something like this, where we're hitting back up here right around like 31,000, there's an opportunity for it. We'll have to see as well, because maybe we hit 15,000 before we actually hit that breakout point or something like that. So the levels may look something more like this, right? So maybe instead of 30,000, we're only hitting 27,000. We have to figure out exactly what that level would be though first. But I would say if I was to bet, probably not. It'd be something we'd have to have a lot of good economic data. We would have to see inflation come down very, very quickly in Q4. And on top of that, we would also have to see Jerome Powell say we're no longer raising interest rates. And then once they do that, then the market will definitely turn around very, very fast. Whenever Jerome Powell announces no more interest rates, that's most likely going to be market bottom, or somewhere around that range is going to be market bottom. Unless for whatever reason the economy decides to tank while we're raising interest rates, that could just be bad, because then we have to kind of keep them at those levels while we wait for inflation to come down. And then once inflation turns around, then they'd be like, okay, now we can start lowering rates and the economy can pick up again. We don't want that to happen, that's for sure. And the other caveat being, of course, we don't want to see this 20-week moving average break down below the 200 here. So basically, we don't want to see the green line drop down below the yellow line here. We've been talking about this for a long time, but I think, you all as well with me, we were kind of skeptical to see if this was actually going to happen, right? Because, going back historically, let's go back to this one. I know it's a lot of clutter here, but historically, the green line has never dropped down below the yellow. Never. Not even when Bitcoin crashed well below it all the way down here to like $162. We never had the 20-week moving average actually cross below the 200. And because of that, we're going to be in unknown territory. But as you guys know, America is currently in a recession due to 2 quarters of GDP, negative GDP growth. So, we're already in this unknown economic territory, which means that Bitcoin can go a lot lower. Some of the cluster levels that we're going to be looking at here, the next cluster level is going to be around $15,000. We can always dip down to like $14,000 as well. And then, it should bounce back up above the cluster pretty easily. But that last cluster level is all the way down here around $7,000. So you want to be very, very careful. I'm not saying we're going to hit $7,000, but we do have a major level of support down there in case we do eventually have some type of really horrific recession. And one other thing here, as far as a timeline for where we could start seeing some more volatile moves, you might start to see some of those more volatile moves occur after we break down below some of these Fibonacci circles. You see this green line right here. We're already touching this one for support. We held support on it last week. We're still holding it this week. After this one, though, we're going to run into the side of our circle, which we can't really get away from at this point, unless we like flat out crash now, which is going to be hard. That one's more around September 26th, so like next week. After that, we might start seeing more of a drop, or hopefully we can see more of a move on the upside. But I'd probably say it's going to be very hard for us to hit $30,000 by the end of the year, unless we could have some really good economic data coming out. Jerome Powell like really being extra dovish and like being basically the opposite of what he was at the Jackson Hole speech here. All right, there we go. Hey, Melvin. Let's see. And thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, I don't have COVID anymore, so I am definitely doing a little bit better here myself. And I just got some more energy because I've been losing weight from walking all the time. Let's see. What do you think about the graph coin? How it's doing on the market cap is good to grab. As far as most of these coins right now, yeah, I can look at it very, very fast. I don't know if anybody else asked me something else here. Somebody else asked me a question. I just forgot right now. Oh, and hey, Bideford, happy to see you back, man. Oh, Chris, remind me what your coins were very fast, and I'll do your stuff after this as well. Graph coin? I don't know what graph coin is. Here, let me go to coinmarketcap.com. There we go. Oh, that's not how you spell graph. The graph, GRT perhaps? I probably put H in there just to graph. Oh, unigraph is probably what you're talking about then. Oh, doesn't say anything on here, so I don't know. You'd have to give me the exact ticker so I could talk about it. But it looks like the exact graph token is not even on coinmarketcap.com right now. It's not being tracked. And they can. Are you going to be trading any puts this week? Probably not. We're kind of heading for some larger levels of support. I'm gonna make a members video for all of you guys about this going into Monday, because I think Monday, if I do put trades, they're all gonna be put on Monday's price. Actually, I want to see if we're gonna be bouncing or not. But I might, but I'm gonna be watching the market pretty closely. Like here, if we go over here to the Nasdaq very fast, let's get out of the Dow. Heck, let's head to any actual stock. Here's a breakout, watch list here. My bread and butter is normally Apple. Let me see if I can find Apple very fast. Right. We had this breakdown here. It was a nice short. We popped back up, got rejected from that same trend line, and now we're coming back down here slowly. I would have been more inclined to take that put on a lot of these plays a few days ago, right? At this point in time, we are seeing some slow breakdowns, like some slowing grinds. Like today, Apple broke down a little bit, but I really think the reason why I'm watching a little bit here is come tomorrow and Monday, we have our next level of support for a lot of different tickers out there. Even stuff like Amazon, you guys can see we have our next level of support pretty much coming over the next 2 days. If we break down below those levels of support, yes, I will be buying puts. But I want to see a little bit more of a confirmation here, because the market is like all of a sudden it's like really, really pessimistic. And I think people are like really starting to price in like, hey, we might actually have a pretty not a light recession. There are still large segments of Wall Street that think we're not going to have a recession at all. If those people start to think that, oh, wow, we might actually have a recession, they might start pricing it in on their own models and start reallocating assets to really make sure they're not too overextended into the market here. So that's what I'm kind of waiting for. But yeah, most likely I'd rather be buying puts than calls, but I want to see what happens here over the next few days, particularly like let's say tomorrow, Monday and Tuesday, because if you look at the even Amazon, we could always have a double bottom, break out above this neckline up here, and then try to go up a little bit higher. I'm not saying it's likely, but it's possible, and I don't want to buy right here, bounce off of support, and then just watch my profits go down the drain. So looking at stuff like Nvidia, this was a great trade. I am all out of the trade now, as you guys know, but it was a fun ride. I don't know what those that trade would have been worth now. I think I already sold them on my other account. Let me see. Yeah, I'm not gonna even look for it. It's gonna take too long. But you see stuff for Nvidia. This may go down a little bit more, but even for Nvidia, right, we're getting pretty close to a nice level of support right there as well. So I'm keeping an eye on it, but we're heading for those support levels. I'm waiting to see if we're going to be bouncing or breaking down, and I just want to have that confirmation of a breakdown before we start buying and loading up on those puts here. Let's see. GRT. Oh, okay, thanks guys. Okay, that's why I need the ticker. So let me see right here, GRT. 10 cents. It's down a little bit. It's a higher market cap coin at 756 million market cap. Higher market cap. I shouldn't say high market cap. It's not like billions or anything, but it is in a larger market cap right now compared to everything else. What number is this? Number 56. That's why. Okay. So it looks like you guys are saying it has some news coming out right now. Let me go over here. Let's get this one and let's open up GRT right here. Oop, not with that one. I want GRT from Binance. Be easier. Okay, so as far as this is concerned, I'm not going to be buying this anytime soon. I want to see if there's a breakout technically, but or maybe getting closer to support. You're in that middle zone right now. Normally, if I'm going to be buying, I would probably want to be buying this below the 20-day moving average here because I'm a little bit cheaper when it comes to coins like this. You just hit a death cross here. I'd be more inclined to just trade the breakout. If it breaks out somewhere over here and it starts shooting up, that's when I want to buy. I might not get as much profit, but I'd be happy to take that profit nonetheless here. Well, I think we'll have a good opportunity to see if it hits the support level over the next few days if Ethereum does break down, because a lot of coins will just dump if that does occur. But at this point in time, if you're going off of some Fibonacci extension levels, Let me put this back up here. There you go. If you do want to buy right now, your levels of resistance are going to be 12 cents, 12 and a half cents, 13 point, 1.1315 cents, almost 14 cents, and then up here at 15 cents. And maybe a good opportunity if you guys want to buy there. I would just be very careful if it does break down below the 20-day moving average. Let me see how it does normally. When he broke down below it last time, it was pretty bad. Last time was a long candle, but not ultimately bad. Longer candles, not too bad. Bad. Last time I broke down below it. Bad. Okay, so you might see some more volatility on the other side. I would say this is a strong candidate for having a stop loss if you guys want to open up a trade on this one. But if there's some news that's going to pump it up in the next few days, or there's something really good going to be happening to it, you most likely would probably want to just be longing and having that stop loss. But that stop loss in this scenario is still pretty good. It's a 10%, 11% stop loss if you guys want to make this trade. So it's going to have a little bit more risk than you guys might like, or you guys are just going to have a stop loss of around 10.1064, which means basically you're going from yesterday's low here. So you're just trying to not fall down below this point right there, that point right there. We've had a golden cross though in the 4 hour. Maybe that means something. It didn't really mean much to Ethereum though, which kind of sucks, unfortunately. But I mean, it doesn't look terrible. It's just in that middle range where it's not close to support. It's not close to resistance. So if you're making a trade off of it, you're kind of in a little bit more of a gambling position than like, hey, we're hitting a breakout, let's go up, or we're hitting a breakdown, let's start shorting. It's kind of like, place your bets, but it's going to be hard to figure out which way it goes until Bitcoin decides which way it wants to go. And you could already see Bitcoin, which is good for GRT. Bitcoin's at support. Ethereum is close to support. If I can actually open up another chart here. There you go. This is the 4 hour chart. You can see Ethereum already broke down, and it's headed for that next level of support here. Maybe if we're able to bounce a lot of the coins, same with GRT, may find an opportunity to go up a little bit higher here. We just had the downtrend here. That was a very small uptrend. Downtrend from there was still pretty good. Trade cautiously on as far as a lot of these coins right now if you guys are going to do some day trading off of them. And hey, Chris, as far as Ethereum Classic and XRP, I don't think has been doing much crazy stuff over the last few days. Let me open up the YouTube one right here. There you go. XRP kind of reminds me of Bitcoin. It's still pretty far away from that level of support here, which is fine. That's good for Ethereum. I see me XRP. On the other side, you're kind of far away from that breakout zone, but you are closer to you're closer to a buying zone than you are a selling zone. So if you guys wanted to buy on this, you'd be more inclined to buy at this point in time than sell. Also, just being aware that you might have an opportunity to buy XRP for maybe around 31.5 cents for like a penny less than where it is now. So not like too crazy, but enough to really like be cheap about it if you wanted to. After that, you're going to be hoping that we can at least bounce back up on top of, hopefully bounce back up towards 35 cents. If you buy now and it goes back up to 35 cents, or at least that level of support, you're making about 8% profit. So it's a nice profit, not a great profit, but it is a nice profit if you're going to be looking to trade this right now. Just be careful again if Bitcoin breaks down, if Ethereum starts breaking down below the support levels, XRP will most likely be going back down to the 29, like almost the 30 cent range, which is close to... Actually, I would say very close to the lows we experienced in June. So some coins are more poised to try to fight to keep some strong levels of support if Bitcoin breaks down. Some coins are really not in that strong position. So if we go over here to a weekly chart, let me just get rid of all the lines here. You see that we're really close to that level of support down here at around 29 cents. That means that Ethereum, XRP would only have to fall down about 11% to reach all-time yearly lows. You see something like the Doge on Mars, very, very close to that support level, just like Matic. Matic is very well off compared to those types of coins. Ethereum Classic is very well off compared to those June lows. Some coins have a lot more room to fall, and so, so it depends on how you guys want to trade this. But yeah, it looks okay. You're going to be looking to buy closer to support though if you do want to buy. But it is in a weak spot right now where it could go to lower points than it can go lower than the June lows if you're not careful. But you know, keep an eye on some of these coins that have popped up a lot. Usually when we hit these zones, these coins fall down pretty hard. My justification for shorting Luna a few months ago, as you guys know. But this support level here, I mean, look how far away this support level is. I mean, it's very, very far away. While we only have like 5-10% for some coins, Ethereum Classic, you know, its support level is way down here around 52%, 51%. That's not nearly a good spot to be at. And, you know, we've already broken down out of the uptrend here a while ago, right? Broke down out of it. And what have we been doing ever since? We've just been going sideways here in a very boring trend. And we're waiting to see if we can break out of it or if we're going to be breaking down. So we have an opportunity here where the 50 is kind of arcing over. So if we don't hurry up, we are going to be dropping back down probably to below $30 pretty easily for Ethereum Classic here. But, you know, I prefer Ethereum Classic for a short actually over the next few weeks. If Bitcoin starts breaking down, this thing is probably going to be coming down fairly hard for a nice, easy short opportunity. Crosses, moving averages are fine here, I would say. The weekly chart moving averages are still okay. Nothing really crazy happening right there. We might be forming some double top here as far as the weekly charts are concerned. So we have like a top up here, a top up here, neckline again around that $30 range. If we break down below that, that could be a straight shot down for a little bit of time. So just keep an eye on Ethereum Classic. Ethereum Classic has a lot more room to fall than something like XRP. See. And hey, like, what do you think about Raven coin since people want to change mining to Ethereum Classic and Raven? I mean, I think Raven coin's a solid play for the long term. It's one of my best positions over the past few months on my watch list. I'll probably end up making a video of all the coins on my watch list eventually here for you guys. Maybe I'll do like top 5 coins, my top 5 coins for this week, but I'll do it like 5 weeks in a row or something like that. Each time learning how to make a better video through editing processes. But yeah, Raven coin right here on my watch list. It's up 128% over the last 60 days. Whereas some of the coins on my watch list that I'm dollar cost averaging into, you know, Huobi token is down 2, Phantom is down 6, Nexo is up 50, I guess, in the last 6 months. Excuse me, 60 days, not months, 60 days. Waves is down 16%, Mina is down 16, Zim is up like 1%, GLM is up like 40, Harmony is down 4, Polymath is up 20. So, you know, I have one up 68%. I have some up 27, 267%. But I also have quite a few down here that are like down like 16%, 33%, up 17, up 76, down 10, up 36, down 8, up 60, up 30, up 17, up 14, down 12, up 50, up 50, down 11, down 11. So, you know, up 40. There's some mixed results in here, up 161% for Litecoin. But yeah. I think Raven coin is going to be something that's good for the long term. I don't know if I would give it more promise for the long term with all this news going around with all the miners looking for where to go next. But I wouldn't put much stock into it for the short term here unless the market can really find some opportunity to have a double bottom and look for that stronger recovery. You might see more coins pumping into those, more miners going into those fields like in that scenario. And hey, Joel, yeah, I can check it out for you, but you got to give me the ticker. You got to give me the ticker, and I can check out the chart for you here in a second. Right now, Bitcoin's looking like it wants to come down just a little bit here, guys. We want to really break out above the 50 moving average here. Just try to get back above it here. It would give us a little bit more of a show of strength. We don't want to see any of these levels be a major level of resistance for us. The longer we're down here, the more moving averages start creeping down. 30-minute, still have some moving averages creeping down. 1 hour, they're a little bit further above. 2 hour, way higher here. We want to really hold this support level. If we start falling below 19,500, it's going to be another rough day for the crypto world. There we go. And you guys can already see on the Bitcoin second chart, it's not looking too happy as well right there. All right, so let me look at some stuff on CoinMarketCap besides my own watch list here. Is there anything actually moving up in the last hour? They've got Luna C moving up a little bit. You got Celsius moving up here, Luna moving up here, Kyber crystals. So let's go over here and check out the Luna and Luna C. Actually, those will be interesting to watch out here. Let's go to the daily chart, probably best for those. Let's start off with Luna, I guess, then go to Luna C. we're just bouncing off a little bit. This is the daily chart, guys, after just getting pummeled over the past few days. Over the last, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days, basically the dump we experienced after that really nice rally, the dump was like 73%. Since then, it's about, we've gained about 36%. So if you bought down low here, you're probably pretty happy. But, you know, we have an opportunity to see a reversal, at least on the daily chart here. 4-hour chart, we're still getting pushed down by this 20 moving average. We've held the 200 here, excuse me. We're probably going to get squeezed here again, just like we got squeezed with these two. Let's hope that this time, instead of breaking down due to the squeeze, we can somehow manage to break above the 20. If we can break above the 20 here as far as Luna is concerned, I think that'll actually be a pretty good opportunity to make some money. And we might be able to bounce back up here to a level. Since it's so volatile, way up here around $4, which kind of comes into contact with the 50 moving average here on the 4-hour chart. And I think that's reasonable for something as volatile as this. You might start scaling out though, probably around 323 to 350. That'd be a good zone just because you're going to be running into that 20 moving average here on the 4-hour chart as well. But you're gearing up for a dip and rip here. So let's see how all that works out. As far as Luna C is concerned, I mean, here, let's go to the daily chart first, I guess. This one's not as optimistic just because we already broke down below the 20-day moving average here. Usually when you break down below it, you stay down below it for a little bit of time. On the weekly chart here, just to give you guys a little bit of a look, you know, we may have a multi-week dump coming on our hands, but there may be some good volatility between the days. So I wouldn't really be holding this for too long, but I think if you guys want to do some short-term 1 or 2 day trades for short-term reversals, you may find an opportunity to make some money there. I'd be more involved in trading on the 15-minute charts. You see, we just had a more recent pump. We're already above the 200. Maybe if it's able to dip back down, and you may be able to take an opportunity to buy and make some money off of this one. On the 1-hour chart, we just got above the 50 for the first time in a hot minute since what, like 2 days ago or so. So they're trying to make a reversal here. Whether it works or not, who knows? But you do see some moves happening over the last few minutes. There you go. This is a minute chart. Nice little pump, and then we go back over here to Luna very fast. Again, a nice little pump here. Not crazy, but nice little pumps that do add up to a good amount of money here over time. All right, there we go. Do I think Shiba Inu will perform harder with better gains than Doge where the prices are at this point? So Shiba is going to be interesting. I wish I had a longer term version of Shiba I could find on my charts. Usually all the Shiba charts don't go back as far as I would like them to. So one of the things I like about Dogecoin right now is since Dogecoin has been around for years, you have those anchored levels of support where Dogecoin can fall and you know where it's at. For me, as far as what it comes to SHIB here, I still think Shiba is going to be fine for many of you guys that want to hold on to it. Shiba is one of those coins, like I told you guys before, even like Dogecoin back in the day, where people are always going to be hoping that it can reach that next level, that the dollar range, the penny range, whatever. People always want to hope that it can hit that range. Let me go to all very fast. You know, you saw more activity, I guess, like, you know, it's more of a newer coin. If things get bad for Bitcoin and we break down below these lows that we experienced over here in 2021, you know, that means we're most likely going to be coming all the way back down here to some really low prices, which, I mean, I don't know if candle chart, does it go back that far in time? Monthly chart? Oh, it does. What chart is this? So Binance, really? Oh, okay, whatever. Basically, if it goes back to all-time lows or even newer lows after that, from where the price of Shiba is now, I mean, it could really go down another like 60%. And then after that, there's no floor. So it just keeps on falling and falling and falling. And that's not going to be a good scenario. So for SHIB, you really want to hope that we don't break down below June lows and we don't go into a recession next year, or SHIB is going to really plummet in value here because it doesn't have those like nice anchors of support. I mean, Doge would fall down too, don't get me wrong, but at least Doge has nice levels of support that you can kind of rely on. When you think about stuff like SHIB here, go to the monthly chart. You know, the best you're probably going to be able to do is open up a fib retracement, open up some negatives here. If I can find the negatives on this one. No? Why doesn't this one have them? There we go. My bad. So, you know, you might see those support levels take you down to this next level here of support, which would be from now, where the price is now, that'd be like another 80% drop in cheap's value here. Now, we would have to see Bitcoin, you know, break down below the June lows first of all. Then this is if this is like if Bitcoin goes to like $10,000, $7,000, okay. But those support levels aren't really hammered out like you might see with the Dogecoin. So Dogecoin could definitely fall a lot during this period in time. How do I do this? This doesn't go back. I don't. It doesn't go back in time far enough for us to use all the old support levels. Let me see if I can find another Doge here. That one better? There we go. Okay. Okay. So it has some weird little things here on the monthly chart. Just bear with me for a second. But you can at least see that Dogecoin has a major support level here. We have a major support level there. You know, we have some spots that we can be dealing with. We also have some support levels right here. And if I get rid of all those very fast, I can always add on a whole bunch of Fibonacci support levels. Like let's go to this one, to here, this one, to here. And you know, you can see that we at least hit one of these during the last few months. We might hit down here to 3 cents. We might hit to 2 cents or whatever. But let's say if Dogecoin, I mean, if the market gets really, really bad, Dogecoin might go all the way down to maybe a penny, and that's if Bitcoin's going to $10,000 or so. It's like way less than we ever thought it might go down to at this point. But you know, you have those anchors there, and does it anchor up with anything else? Yeah, it kind of matches up with this support level that we just talked about a few seconds ago with that yellow line. So you know, they're both going to be really hard plays at this point, but both are probably going to give you really good returns once everything is said and done. But while the bear market's roaring, you're going to feel pain of holding a lot of this stuff, and that it doesn't matter. Well, it does actually matter what altcoin you're holding, which is why you guys want to make sure your dollar cost averaging in there and making sure you understand you guys want to be holding on to this for the long term. Such a long time that you want to just go out and get a wallet and transfer all of your coins onto that wallet, unless you guys are hoping to earn interest from those types of accounts. And if you want to earn interest, you know, go for it, but try to like keep an eye out for your exchange and always be looking at the news for your exchange to make sure there's no really bad news coming out for anything else. So you're not like, oh my God, my exchange is going bankrupt. All my coins are lost. Even, you know, all this dollar cost averaging has gone nowhere, which is why you guys have like a Ledger Nano wallet or something else like that. Okay. There we go. Hopefully that helped you out there a little bit. So, you know, if we do go down really bad, that's what you might expect. But they're both solid plays. They're both solid plays for the long run. And hey, Miss Pepin, happy to see you back, man. Hope you're doing well. And hey, Joel, ENPF. Did I talk about this one already? I'm not entirely sure. Probably not. Okay. Enphase Energy. Okay. Oh, that's a stock. That's why. All right. Monthly chart still looks good. I would say you are getting close to a level of resistance here. This is just on the monthly scale, so I'll go to the daily scale in a second here. You are getting closer to that resistance level up here, so just be aware of that. Let's go over to the daily chart though. All right, you're getting kind of high up there, so just be careful of how much further you want to go up. If it's able to break out above this, that'd be a strong buy though, especially with oil prices most likely to start rising here. American American oil is starting to drill less, so less oil is going to be coming soon. OPEC is lowering the amount of oil they're pumping out of the ground as well. They don't want to see the prices go down too low, so you will most likely see this breakout maybe closer to October, November if it does break out at all. Just be but for the long term, when I play with stuff like this, it's usually me buying and holding for a while and hoping for the best. I've been doing it with stuff like Exxon and Chevron and things of that nature. I don't know what energy sector this is in, so let me just check it out very fast. Solar. I think this would be something that'd be good to hold. I'm looking at it right now, so I'm just reading an actual chart that was shown on here on this page. But I think this will be good because it seems like a lot of the products that these guys are selling are products that would have tax rebates from the government, and on top of that, the government's making a big push for green energy right now. Now the push won't necessarily do much for climate change like its goal is, just because there's other actors in the world, other countries that don't even care about climate change. So there's kind of like build, right? But at least here, we're going to try to make a little bit of a difference through climate change. And you're going to see the government with that big infrastructure bill pumping a lot of money into companies like this. So I think it's probably going to be a good long-term hold here. Now, me being me, I would most likely want to see that come down a lot before buying into it. But if you're okay with like buying it and just kind of watching it slowly grind up, I think you'd be in an okay spot. It's not going to be like FTNT from last year. That was absolutely insane. But I think you will have a good opportunity to make some money off of that one, especially in the solar field with all this new government money like flowing into the sector here. Oh, and hey, Monica, I probably did miss your question, so thanks for posting it again. Sorry about that. Got some puts on Netflix and Hood today. They're making money already. Expire October 14th. Wonder if I should hold it for a while or more like short term. Right now, Monica, to me, it would be more of a short-term play. But since you kind of put them so far out in October, you kind of have more wiggle room right now. The thing about, well, let's just talk about Hood first, and then we can go over to the other one. Sorry, Loki's over here making noise. There you go. Dude, what are you doing? Oh, he has a ring toy. He wants to play fetch. But we'll play in a little bit. Yeah, he just dropped on the floor like, dude, help me out. Basically, you are at that high point of this pattern right now. You're going to be hoping that Hood comes back down, hopefully to around $10 mark. I would say I'd probably start scaling out then. And if we do break down, you could also continue to scale down as it comes down. Or what you might be able to do is just add more to your position at another $9 strike price, maybe probably sometime around mid-October as well, October 15th, as you put it. And then hope that it comes back down to maybe $9, then down here to $7, and then see where it goes from there. And October 15th is way out here, so you do have some time. So I think it's fine. Just make sure that Hood doesn't manage to break out above the 200 daily moving average. That might be a little bit more of a bullish sign saying, hey, we're about to pop back up here a little bit. That would just be my concern about Robinhood, because a lot of other stuff was going down today. Robinhood managed to pop up 5%, so there's going to be something there. But as long as you don't break above that resistance in the 200 daily moving average, I think you're going to be fine. As far as the second one you just talked about here, Netflix. Yeah, you said Netflix. Okay, let me just double check. So Netflix is a little bit more interesting here. You do have that level of resistance up here. Depending on which Fibonacci extension level you picked up, you're going to be looking at a few different things. You're going to see a level of resistance up here. I don't really like this Fibonacci level, do I? Yeah, not much. Well, you do have a level of resistance. Does it matter too much in the weekly chart? Yeah, it didn't really pan out the way I would like it to as far as Fibonacci. Let me see if I can find another one here for you, Monica. No. No. All right, one more. No, there's not going to really be much that really fits there, doesn't? Yeah. All right. Well, you're still heading for that gap zone up here, so you might see a reversal over the next few days or next few weeks if it does come back up to 151. Until then, at least, let's see. It got a little bit of a big pop today as well. You bought puts. You buy puts. Okay. Might be a little bit more cautious if you break out of this, but what I'm looking at right now is more likely a death cross to happen between the 50 and the 20 here. So that might give you some good moves. Just like that golden cross led to a big move here. That death cross may lead to a little bit more of a drop. The technicals don't really look too good on this one though. And I'm not talking about like for you making money, but more of just matching up with the price action of the stock. So I'm a little bit less inclined to be trading this right now personally, but something as simple as this. Yeah, that's more of it. Still bounce up above it though. Huh. All right. Yeah, just hope that it doesn't manage to break out, or it might be heading back up to 240, 250 zone or not. Hopefully this death cross is going to happen probably sometime next week. That'll give you an opportunity to watch this come back down towards at least 214, maybe as far as 202 for you to make some good money. Be careful of it though. I'd be watching these plays pretty closely just because we're so close as far as the indexes are to some of those big levels of support. Let's say with a lot of other stocks out there, if you start to see them break down, I think that'd be really good news for you. There we go. See. And hey, Adam. Oh, hold on a second here. Loki, you okay? He is looking at me like with very sad eyes and just wanting to play so bad. Like we didn't already play for like 2 hours outside today. I got eaten alive by mosquitoes. Let's see. Oh, and Far From Broke says, Numb Crypto has been pumping it into super small cap. If any of you guys like playing with the smaller caps there. And Adam says, Santos, Porto, and Lazio, they're all up about 20%. These coins seem to go up together and sometimes go up crazy. Look like they have to do with soccer teams. Oh, that could be it, especially if they win or not. If they're, winning or have I don't even know if it's soccer season right now. But yeah, if they're winning, they might be going up a little bit here. Any interesting stocks to start accumulating for the long term? Energy, healthcare, high dividend plays are what I'm usually looking at right now. I can probably pick up a list later on, but honestly, guys, I'm still watching and just like with hawkish eyes, what's happening here as far as the NASDAQ is concerned with a lot of these plays. Like I want to own stuff like Apple, or I want to own Google, I want to own Microsoft, I want to own Meta, but not for a while. I want to own stuff like Hood, like you're talking about here, but I'm still concerned about what happens if we do manage to break down below the 200 weekly moving averages here, because then a lot of the stuff that I want to buy will, drop down quite a bit, and that's when I really want to start accumulating into those plays. So, maybe we're going to look at something like an Apple here on the weekly chart. I know Apple has had a couple splits, so it's going to be a little bit different, but 2008, Apple dropped down about, let's just go from here from highs. Let's just do highs, makes it easier. Apple dropped about 61% from highs. So far, Apple has dropped about 17%. Over here, it was around 30%. I kind of want to see it bounce up, hopefully off of its own 200 weekly moving average like it did right over here in 2018. I'd feel more confident buying around there, and Apple's price would be somewhere around $120, maybe $110 at that time. So I want to buy a lot of stuff, but I'm also just like, I want to wait a little bit of time before I buy it. But if you really want to buy something, just keep an eye out for this level of resistance here. May give you a good opportunity. You'll remember the members just took puts on this a while ago, and we made some good money as it ran down. So I'm watching it closely. Dollar cost averaging is probably what you're going to want to do on a lot of these stocks, but you're going to want to play it safely. This is one of the reasons I actually do like Robinhood, because they're fractional shares. I think more exchanges should have fractional shares because it opens up the opportunity for you to dollar cost average more without putting out $150 per stock. Or I remember with Tesla before the split, like $700 to $1,000 per stock share. Excuse me. You don't want to do that. But yeah, those are a few of the things I'm looking at. Automakers are something I'm going to be looking at very strongly. I'm looking at Bed Bath & Beyond for a longer term play down the road, not now, because there's a chance that over the next 2 years, Bed Bath & Beyond can actually go bankrupt. China's retail sales industrial production beat expectations in August. That's good. That means the economy is picking up just a little bit. Is it helping out the futures? No. All right, well, that's okay. There's probably some nuances there that makes it not as good. Let's see. What was I just going to talk about here? My brain is kind of pizzazzled out when I heard the good news about China. Bed Bath & Beyond. There we go. There we go. Bed Bath & Beyond is closing about 150 stores. Talk about layoffs. They're just being fired. So, you know, they're closing about 150 stores across the country. And here's the map of the ones so far. And, you know, one of the ones that is closing is actually one that's like maybe 20 minutes away from me in Lakewood. So, you know, they're closing up a lot of stores, a lot in one in Lakewood, one in Oregon, a few in California, one in Nevada, more than a few in California actually. So you're starting to see some of these stores close down. Although I will say Bed Bath & Beyond, I don't even know. I mean, maybe Amazon could buy them up and just get their stuff, but I've never shopped really at Bed Bath & Beyond. I mean, maybe when I was in college, I needed a pillow that was overpriced, Bed Bath & Beyond, but this is something I'm looking at here. You guys know that Bed Bath & Beyond, no, it's Best Buy. Oh, it's Beth. What is it? BBBY. All right. This is one of those meme stock plays and stuff like that. It's a short foot of like 40%. So I do think eventually this thing will actually pop off pretty well and make me a good amount of money. But I want it to come down a little bit more. I want it to come down quite a bit more. Hopefully around like the $6 to $4 range. And I'd be looking to buy small amounts of it. Maybe like a total of $500 and see where it goes. But it'd be a very long-term play, like 3 to 4 years. And I'd be hoping that I would actually have a flat stop loss at $3, most likely. $3, $2, yeah. I don't want to see it become a penny stock or even go through a split. I don't want to see an offering. If I see any of those things, I'll be out of the position during a pre-market hours even. And you see all these buys from last year. You know, now you're starting to see people get out of it a little bit. 10% owner Cohen Ryan, he sold off a whole bunch because it was a huge pump. You know, and you know, they've been having fun getting out of it actually from doing the pump and dump. So as like regular people buy it up, they've been selling it off and making a whole bunch of money. Cannot blame them for that at all. And hey, GT, happy to help you out. And hey, Jerry M27, hope you're doing good. What's up with the coins that are 5 to 20K per coin? There's a few. You know, I don't really know why they're that expensive. Maybe just to make it feel like the coins are never going to go below like $5 a penny and, you know, a few cents or something like that. Maybe that's what they're going for, but I've never understood it myself. I know people like to trade them. I know people do trade them, but I've just never seen the justification. The only reason you really buy those coins is if you're just going to be doing a long-term hold. So because the percentages is ultimately what you care about. But, you usually see less mania around those very, very high priced coins, regardless of what the market cap is. You're normally just going to buy and hold and maybe day trade or swing trade during a bull market. But in everyday markets, it's just kind of annoying to kind of watch those high priced coins. I have no idea why they're that high. I think it's just so they can say, hey, we're like Bitcoin, we're that expensive. But, you know, I have no idea personally why. Yeah, no worries, Joel. Happy to help you out. Let's see. And hey, KTX Lee, happy to see you back, my man. Love the streams and shorts, Mike. Keep up the good work. I will be posting a lot more shorts here pretty soon. My voice has still been kind of getting back to normal after COVID. I'm still like not able to talk at 100%, but I'm getting close, guys. I'm getting back to there bit by bit. You guys notice I'm not hacking up along as much as I was yesterday with all the talking and coughing. Even though, you know, a couple weeks ago, I was like, I couldn't even finish a stream because I was hacking up along. But yeah, I'm getting a little bit better here, but I will be doing more shorts over time. I usually I don't like making shorts myself of just myself talking. I like to usually make shorts off of what somebody else is doing. So it's like a cut video is what YouTube calls it. So you're going to see somebody else's short for like 5-10 seconds. And then you'll see me talking about their short or whatever topic they're talking about most likely. So you guys can learn something from them or learn what I think is the most important part of their short, basically in that term. But so far they're doing good. My last short probably got just 100 views, but it hasn't gotten pushed by the shorts algorithm yet. The last short I did before that got 5,000 views. So that was really nice and encouraging. I'm going to be posting a lot of tutorials over the next few weeks, guys. Oh, and yeah, I will put a post out there because I'll forget if you guys tell me now. I'll put a post out there later on in the week, probably tomorrow, since I wanted to start in the morning. And I'll ask you guys what tutorials you guys want to see as far as learning how to trade. So you guys want more pattern trading, more candlestick things, you know, what patterns you guys like, you know, whatever you guys want to have tutorials on. I want to start doing some videos about that. That way I can start getting better and better as far as editing videos and of that, you know, and it's things like that. Do I think Ethereum will drop more? I mean, there's a strong possibility it will, to be honest. It's already closing in on a major level of support. So if we take a quick peek here at Ethereum, right? Sorry for the algorithm running on it, but just, you know which direction we're currently going in here, right here. We just had a breakdown yesterday. We're getting closer and closer to this buy zone or this level of support around 1417, so 1,417, and we're currently at 1,464. We're like $50 away from support right now. If we do break down below this, this is that last big level of support that we have. The good thing going on for Ethereum right now, though, however, is that we do have this support right here, right? And we do have this level of support right there as well. And you can even add some Fibonacci support levels right around here, okay? So we have another one right down here as well. So we might actually drop down to 1352 or so. But just because we break down, hopefully means that we might, just because we break down doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to be crashing down. It might just mean that this downtrend is over and now we're going to be consolidating for a while. So it might come to the point where we just start going like this, right? And start looking to make more moves down the road. Or we're going to consolidate with a nice strong support level here and be looking for a breakout sometime close to maybe the beginning of October, leading us to have a big breakout, a very strong move, and then we're looking very, very happy for the future of Ethereum over the next few weeks, right? But we got to wait to see how far we break down, because if we start breaking down below 1,354, that's where we start to tank, and that's where people get very, very worried very, very fast. But if we manage to break out, you know, then we start having more talks about let me see if I can find a good resistance level up here. That's a long one. Yeah, we start talking more about getting back up towards 2,000, 2,200, maybe even as far as 2,400 on this breakout, maybe. Probably closer to 2,400 max, 2,500 max. But that, you know, we start talking about those opportunities and such. But right now, it's going to be a little bit harder. And even right now, Bitcoin is still getting closer and closer to support. We don't want to see Bitcoin break down below this Ganfan level right here. One of the reasons, like I was supposed to finish streaming up here 15 minutes. One of the reasons I'm still streaming right now is because if we start breaking down below these levels here, we're going to be in a pain. Because like here's Bitcoin's chart on the 4-hour. This is a big Ganfan level. Plus this is a big support level that we tried to hold all the way back over here from August 28th. We broke down below it, came back up. You saw the Ganfan was actually a little bit of resistance for us over here. But now we're just trying to hold support all over again. And we don't want to have to deal with this twice. So this is a really crucial moment for Bitcoin over the next couple hours or so. We really want to hold strong here. So I'm hoping we can just bounce off of this, get back above the 50, start chucking again, and then I can call it a night as far as the stream's concerned. But I do want to see what's going on here. And you know, you do see other coins out there right now going down just a little bit. Like Bitcoin is Bitcoin is like up 0.09%. But you know, Sol is down 1%, Ethereum Classic is down 7%, Matic is down 1%, Elon is down 1%, XRP is down 1%. A lot of stuff is down a little bit, even though Bitcoin is actually doing okay. So when I go over here back to YouTube, and let me go over here to what was the one? Ethereum Classic here. You know, it just got clobbered right here. Just got clobbered. And I wish I had the technicals from the other time I just talked to you guys, but you know, we're definitely in this zone where we don't want Ethereum Classic to be breaking down below that $30 range. If it does, then we're looking at a really big drop for Ethereum, probably having a pause somewhere around here in the mid-20s. But I mean, the fact that, you know, Ethereum Classic would be back in the mid-20s, that's not a good thing. It's in the 30s right now. You don't want it to go to the 20s. That'd be a drop of about, you know, like 28% already. So, you know, stuff is gearing up for a drop, unfortunately. But I would say since Bitcoin is still above support, we still have an opportunity to go higher. But that, you know, it's going to be difficult. But I still think it's actually a possibility here, especially since the market has dropped down so much over the past week. We may be due for a little bit of a bounce leading into Friday, maybe going into Monday if we're lucky here. There we go, right there. Awesome. Okay. Let's see. And you were talking about Bitcoin's moving with the SPY lately and the Ethereum moving with Bitcoin. Ethereum is usually moving with Bitcoin. All I would caveat there is sometimes Ethereum will break down a day before Bitcoin, leading Bitcoin to have a really big drop afterwards. So keep an eye on Ethereum here, guys. The breakdown point for today's daily candle, is right here at about 1420. Currently, that's about a drop of about 3%. So we're about 3% away from breaking down today as far as Ethereum is concerned. Bitcoin, as far as its breakdown, let's not use the Ganfin level because we have closed down below it. Well, we haven't closed down below it actually at all, but we have come down below it, I guess you would say, on the 15. Let's go with the horizontal line here. We're about 1% away from it right now. So about 1.08% away from it currently. So a lot of coins are really, really close to those big support levels. We're just hoping that all these coins can bounce instead of fall like a rock. All right, so let me go over here very fast. I really am surprised Bed Bath & Beyond is closing so many stores, though. I think they realize there's a recession coming, and they just don't want to lose money by paying people, honestly, that, you know, when nobody's going to be going to the stores because it's a recession. Let's see if I can play this right here for you very fast. So this is over here, and this is CNBC. What I'll probably do is just put on the audio so you guys can hear what he's saying, but I'll play it for just a couple seconds because I do think it's going to be important that you guys hear what he says. Desktop audio, watch now. There might be an ad, so hold on.
I mean, you're talking about a reduction your next quarter in what I thought you were going to make versus what you're making. Well, it says to me, don't buy back shares.
Well, don't buy back shares. Yeah, we are reviewing all our cost actions right now. We're reducing our capex quite significantly this year. And, you know, we think it's allocation of capital. This is a good use of our capital.
But 548 was the estimate for second. You're going to come in at 275? Well, you know, I mean, that's got to be more than just Asia and service.
No, we are seeing that the volume decline in every segment around the world, and so, you know, it's.
So remember, they're a global company. All across the world, everything is slowing down right now. Now go back here. I'm just cutting it off a little bit so YouTube doesn't get mad at me. I'm not supposed to play like more than 15 seconds of a clip at a time.
We started our second quarter. The weekly numbers are not looking so good. So we just, you know, we just assume at this point that the economic conditions are not going to be good. But it basically allows us then to fully, you know, go into cost management mode and take those actions that we can then, you know, restructure FedEx in a different way.
Raj, are we going to a worldwide recession?
Well, I'm not an economist, but, you know,
you know more than economists. Come on, they don't. They just push papers. You actually look at papers.
Well, I think so.
You think we are going to a worldwide recession?
I think so. But, you know, again, these numbers don't portend very well.
U.S. in the last few weeks as bad as China in the last few weeks?
Yeah, the U.S. Consumer has, you know, definitely spending less, but, you know, the U.S. has been somewhat insulated because the U.S. dollar is, you know, is the currency of choice for the world, and there's some insulation there. But, you know, I do see the U.S. is slowing down too.
Okay, so, you know, that's from the guy that gets to see like how many packages are going across the world basically, and he has access to every bit of data. So you guys are going to see things probably get a little bit worse as time goes on. But again, that's why we looked at. Let me go over here very fast. FedEx Corporation. You see the stock here on the daily chart. Okay. Now let's add on. No. How do I get over here? Do I have to go? Why do some have it and some don't? I will just never understand why. Let's go to the 15-minute chart. Then we'll find it over here. Let's go to there it is. Extended hours. So before the you know, after close, you know, at close it was at $204. Now it's at $171. That's how much it fell after hours. So they see something bad happening, and that means that, you know, who do you think they're transporting goods for? Small businesses, big businesses. They're all going to be affected by lower amounts of shipping, right? Lower amounts of orders. So yikes, that's just yeah. Let's hope things get a little bit better. But well, let me go back over here to that 15-minute chart very fast. The current price is here. So if we look at it from the daily chart, you can see like, let's go to the weekly chart. Relative to everything else, that's how big the drop is right now, right? So we are hitting a little bit of support right here, but that's a pretty sizable drop. If you guys want to do day trading with options, tomorrow is probably going to be a great opportunity when it comes to FedEx. Watch to see how the price action opens up in the morning, and you'll be able to make some good money if you guys want to do like a short 15 to 20 minute day trade on this sucker. It's probably going to have some really big moves. Don't go to market orders, only do limit orders as far as buying into the position, because it'll get rough if you try to go market. Because there is a support level like right here basically, right? And we've just dropped down way below that. So we might even be able to pop all the way back up to 185 before ultimately getting rejected again here. Although if we go for the precision mark, that precision mark might be somewhere up here around 180 or so. So it's going to be a pretty nasty day for a lot of stuff. Oh, and that's probably what's causing so much chaos in the, as far as the futures markets as well. Because we go over here, look at the futures markets. Right. NASDAQ is down about 0.8%, S&P down 0.6%, and the Dow is down about 0.5%. You know, still not looking as good as we might want it to be right there. Okie dokie. Nobody's commenting, so I think we're good for tonight, guys. Keep an eye on these Fibonacci levels or the big support level for Bitcoin around that $19,500 level, and I think you guys are going to be good. And hey, buy for Ethereum Classic is dropping like a rock again. Let me see, go over here very fast. It does have a long way to go. Oh yeah, we just talked about this. Yeah. It does have a long way to go, guys. It definitely does have a long way to go. Just because it's so much higher than everything else. Look how high this is relative to the June lows. It pumped up like crazy. That support level that it has though right now is around 30 bucks. If it does break down below 30 bucks, you can expect some really bad things to happen. And you are seeing the 50-day moving average start to creep back across here. So it's starting to peak. We don't want to see it peak because that leads to a death cross, and death crosses lead to some really bad market action. Okay. But okay, everybody, have a good rest of your day. I'm going to go eat some lasagna probably to get rid of all the lasagna that I have. And, oh, Loki's already getting up because he hears me say lasagna. But happy to see you guys. Now I'll be streaming again tomorrow. Hopefully I can pull out 2 streams tomorrow. That's my goal, but I might be busy making some, doing some editing for you guys as well. Okay. So hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day. And be careful, guys. That great reset that you guys are talking about, it's most likely going to be a large stock market crash, a huge kind of like fundamental, change kind of in society, but it's all up in the air if it's actually going to happen at this point. We really want to see things get bad before we're going to actually see some really fundamental changes in the economy, because right now, you know, everything's headed towards automation. So, you know, it's going to be bad for some, good for others. Okay. All right, everybody, have a good rest of your day.